I want to talk today and continue to talk about pillar talk. But I'm not really going to do a lot of talking today. I want to read something to you today, and hopefully that it will bring our awareness into where we are as a nation as we talk about the pillars. And when we speak of the pillars that we are talking about restoring, we are talking about restoring the pillar of politics, which is government. And there's an absolute need that there be a standard brought so people can actually see again. We talk about the pillar of media, the pillar of business, the pillar of the church, the pillar of education, the pillar of family, and the pillar of arts and entertainment. Today, we want to specifically hone in on the pillar of government, because I believe if we actually look back into our past, we will actually see our future. And as we begin to understand that if there is going to be a difference, there has to be a people that desire to make a difference. Now, the other thing I'm going to do at the end of this day, at the conclusion of this day, I'm going to sow a first fruit offering into every one of you. I'm actually going to sow into your life the book by Apostle Stephen Everett on New Testament principles of kingdom stewardship. And if you're ever going to start anything in the beginning, you must go back and take a look at the beginning. Because when you're off course, if you in fact start at the place you are, you'll never come to a resolve. I'd like to speak something about Father's business. In Proverbs 22 and 28, you don't have to, you can write it down and read it later. It says, remove not the ancient landmarks, which thy fathers have set. See if there a man diligently in business, he shall stand before kings, he shall not stand before mere men. Now, one of the things that I want to address when I talk about the pillar of government, I'd like to make this statement, that we should understand something about the scarred offices, and this is what we must remember, that even though there's many men into the offices, or women, men and women may change, but the office does not. Because if there's a scarred office, it was actually established and set by authority greater than man. Therefore, man does not have the ability to change that. And one of the things that we're beginning to believe now, that if we don't like it, we change it. Let me make sure you understand something. It doesn't matter what you don't like about God. You can't change it. So let us move on to the voice of government. And I want to quote from George Washington's words, not his words, but the words of the angel that came to him. And here's what it said. Son of the Republic, look and learn. While the stars remain and the heavens send down dew upon the earth, so long shall the union last. Unquote. This was the words that the angel of the Lord gave George Washington. And the issue is, I mentioned that before, if God ever gives a word, he cannot change his mind. So what I'd like to address to all of us, and this is not just to justice, this is to America. The issue is that if God gave the vision, you cannot give another, and you cannot alter it, and you cannot change it, except all America is in trouble. The other thing is that I believe that one of the things that needs to happen for America to become the nation that she wants to become, there must be a party of one. And I think it ought to be the American Republic. Why? It's because until we can get both sides to come together, until there's an understanding that we have to be one nation with one voice, we will actually be a nation divided, and that is exactly what is necessary for people to exploit all of us, and none of us have peace. Now, I would like to read something, and hopefully I can do it with some enthusiasm, because whenever I start the reading, I really begin to get caught up in what I'm saying, but I want to read it, and then after I finish, then I'll tell you who wrote it or who spoke it. It says, the world is very different now, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to establish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. And yet the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought and is still an issue around the globe. The belief that right men come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. We dare not forget today that we are heirs of the first revolution. Let the words go forth from this time and place to friends and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by the hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwillingly to witness the of the slowing down and undoing of those human rights, that which this nation has always been committed, and to which we are committed today at the home and around the world. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, in order to assure the survival and the success of liberty. This must we pledge, and more, to those old allies whose culture and spiritual origins we share. We pledge the loyalty of faithful friends, united. There is little we cannot do in a host of corporate ventures. Divided, there is little we can do. We dare not meet a power challenge at odds with split asunder. To those new states whom we welcome to the ranks of the free, we pledge our words that one form of colonial control shall not have passed away merely to be replaced by a far iron tyranny. We shall not always expect to find them supporting our views, but we shall always hope to find them strongly supporting their own freedom. And to remember that in the past, those who foolishly sought power by riding the back of the tiger ended inside. To those people in the huts and villages across the globe struggling to break the bonds of mass misery, we pledge our best efforts to help them help themselves for whatever period is required, not because the communists may be doing it, not because we seek their vote, but because it is right. If a free society